My little sister passed away at age 50. I was thrown into a tailspin that I can't explain. And all of a sudden, I found myself working harder and harder at my job. At first, I thought, well, this is good. I'm getting more stuff done. I'm putting in the hours. I'm having success. And then I slowed down long enough to realize I was actually using it to numb myself, which is not good. So today's video, we're going to get into that, why working harder when adversity hits in the middle of our lives is not necessarily the greatest thing to do. And here I am, it's Friday evening, and you can see my desk, I've been working since about 7 a.m. this morning. So it's something that I struggle with, but I've kind of learned along the way some different things to keep in mind, and I want to share those in today's video. I would actually suggest that working is the most socially acceptable form of numbing pain that exists, and probably the one that most of us don't even think about. But as a society, I think we kind of applaud it, when something happens to somebody and they're back to work earlier than normal. Look at her, she lost her mom, but she was back within a day or two, and boy, she's committed. Is she? Here's what's really going on is you're using all that forward motion, all of the emails, the conference calls, the goals set, the goals achieved, to really kind of drown out the signals that your body is sending to you. The idea that you really just kind of need to sit with the stuff that you're dealing with. And that, my friends, is not really resilience. That's avoidance. Now, I know it because I've done it. And to an extent, I'm still doing it. You feel that pain, you feel all of that different emotion, and you bury it. And the easiest way for most of us to bury it is by focusing on work. And before you know it, you feel like you're drowning. Now listen, being a hard worker is great, and really enjoying and loving your job, which I do, is a great thing. Feeling achieved and accomplished, that's all super. The problem is when you kind of go from using it as a bridge for the short term to making it more of a long-term destination and medication. A few days ago, I was finishing the workday and I had to pull myself away from the desk. I'm like, there's more I can do. There's more I can do. And it's literally getting dark outside. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go and just sit outside. I hadn't been outside all day. And I went outside and I sat in the rocker and, sat there for maybe a minute. And all of a sudden, you know what I did? I checked my phone. I checked my emails. I mean, when is the last time that you truly unplugged? No phone, no podcast, no emails, nothing. I think if you don't know the answer, you really know the answer. And what happens is when you postpone dealing with that emotion and dealing with the stuff that's going on, it doesn't go away. All that productivity that you're producing doesn't make the stuff that you're dealing with just magically disappear. It actually compounds when you don't deal with it. It will show up as burnout. It will show up as emotional distance from the people that care for you and you need to be there for. It will persist and it will stay there until it's dealt with. Because whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's job loss, career shifting, relationship issues, those things are there to really redirect you. But if you drown yourself in anything that numbs you, even work, you're not going to hear it. So here is what real work-life balance, at least in my opinion, means in midlife. It doesn't mean working fewer hours or not working as hard or leaving right at 5 o'clock. It means being present in the moment that you are in. And that means even when life is hard, being present in that difficulty, because balance is not, half the time I'm going to be focused on work and half the time I'm going to be focused on home. To me, what balance means is having a life that is worth living outside of work. And the only way that you're going to have that is to do the work on yourself and to focus on your own self-care and love yourself outside of the job that you perform to make a living. I like to think that professionally, I'm extremely disciplined. I'm in sales, and so everything is live and die by the metrics, and I hold myself to a very high standard professionally. And most of us do. Most of us, that's how we measure success. But when it comes to our own emotional well-being, we don't do any of that. At least I never really used to. And we just kind of wing it. We just kind of figure it out as we go. That imbalance, that's where midlife burnout happens, because it's not really about working too much. It's about refusing to live while you work. Now, before I get into what to do instead, if any of this is landing with you, making sense, please subscribe to the channel so that we can help others out there and continue to build a community that fosters midlife resilience. I put out content once a week, and it's all meant to help those that need to build their resilience. Okay, so what do? There's 3 things. Number 1, name it. The next time, like when I was in the rocker the other day, the next time you feel that urge in the quiet to do something like pick up your phone or check emails or do something like that, I want you just to pause and I want you to think, am I doing this to try to avoid something? Maybe it's feeling sad, maybe it's feeling lonely, maybe you're afraid of something. And by naming it, you're not necessarily fixing it, you're not getting rid of it, but you are taking its power away. Okay, number 2, schedule the pain. I know that sounds a little weird, but this is something that I found works for me. If you're sitting in that moment and you realize, I am actually kind of sad about my sister, but I don't want to deal with it right now. You can't just push it away and make it go away. Schedule time to deal with it. And maybe that's, getting up a little bit earlier and writing in a journal about it, or going for a walk without headphones to just try and deal with it, because grief is not going to go away. So if you aren't going to give it its own time, then schedule it. Number 3 is big for me, and that is acknowledging the fact that you are more than your work. It's so easy for many of us to identify ourselves through our jobs, through our success, through the title that we have. I've been really bad about that throughout the course of my life, but I have grown in the last probably decade in terms of seeing myself in a bigger way and not necessarily tied to my job. Now, I have gone through job loss, and that does create grief. And you do have to walk the line in making sure that you are focused and committed and goal-oriented and doing every single thing you can to make sure that you're doing your job to the best of your ability. But at the same time, you do not want that to become your identity. You don't want it to become who you are, because what happens is when you pull back from that and you allow yourself to enjoy other things or to have some sense of balance, all of a sudden you feel like you are pulling away from who you are. And that is not the case. Midlife is going to knock you on your butt. There are things that are going to happen to you, to your loved ones, to your friends, that are just going to represent major adversity. And the world, society is going to say, you got to get back up. You got to get back to work. You got to get back in the saddle. And I'm telling you something a little different. Yes, do the work, get back to work, do the work in front of you, but don't hide in it. And don't use it to try to numb the pain. You have to go through whatever it is that is facing you to deal with it. Because midlife is not about a decline, it is about being a turning point. But it's only that if you are present enough to see it.